A talented artist who produces kinetic sculptures. From charity work to commercial projects, he's always on the move. Stay tuned for My China and the story of an artist in motion.
Bonjour, my name is Nico Delafaye. I'm from France and this is My China.
We're somewhere in the suburb of Beijing on the east side, and today we're gonna do a test setup for the installation that we will do in front of this department store starting tomorrow. So here is the warehouse. Hey, 你好，你好，你好。
The day at the warehouse, yeah, that was an important day because we had to test the building of the tower and the pedestal for this tower and to test all the electric part. That went very well. I was just very confident because we had to do this setup anyway, but that was especially very important in this specific situation because I would not have been able to be there for the actual setup. After this, I was just confident that I could go, I could let Lynn, my assistant, and Steve to take care of this job, and that was very good.
第一次见到他的感觉呢，那就看到跟我说是一个艺术家，对谁也不会相信这个样子头发，然后衣服是，对这种衣服在咱们国内应该也很少有人穿了。
At first, same impression, but then after a while, I realized that this man is a very hard-working and dedicated man, and he's very, very precise about what he does.
他是一个非常细致，在我来看非常细致，关注重每一个细节的这么一个艺术家。这应该就是
It goes until here.
Test setup day, everything's going very good so far. It's a bit more than 2 p.m. The tower is on the pedestal. I'm glad everything went well. We're in very good hands here. The real setup starts tomorrow night, but I won't be here. I'm actually going back home to France.
We did the test setup at the warehouse a couple of days ago, and last night after a long night's work, it was -9, it was really cold and it was a long night, but now finally we have the tower in the actual scene. Unfortunately, we don't have Nico here and he will not be able to witness the lighting up together with us, but we have prepared a little surprise for him.
When I knew I couldn't be there for setup, I was a bit bothered. I like to be able to follow from start to the final last step because all the different points and all the different steps are important, and including specifically the last delivery point. And Lynn, and she calls me, she made me this very nice surprise.
Hey! Hey, hello. Hi, how are you, Nico? So, guess where I am?
You must be around Xidan in Beijing.
You are a very smart man. So we have prepared a little surprise for you. I'm not sure if you're ready. One moment, yeah?
All right, we're ready. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is beautiful. What you just did is beautiful. Yeah, that's definitely beautiful. Did you put the red spotlights on the tower already?
You do see that. It's not yet.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. I was wondering because that definitely looks beautiful like this, and I think it's beautifully made and set up, and I think the fact that we bring some red light inside will definitely enhance the whole installation.
Yes, of course, the red light will be on very soon, in just a moment.
Having Lynn and Steve work on this project, and even and especially without me for this last part, I was extremely confident first, and after all, when I saw that everything went so well, I was just extremely happy.
And we're still finishing the rest of the light tubes, as you can see. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna let our chef carry on what we're doing, and I'll call you. I'll call you back, later, and brief you about the whole situation. Okay?
Okay, okay, no worries.
Okay. Cool.
Great, thanks, Lynn.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Cheers.
Jingle bell rock, jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring, snowing and blowing up bushels of fun.
So here we are in the area of Dongcheng on Gulodong Dajie, the place where I've been living for about 2 years. So I'm on my way to the photo store to get some film for the tonight's shooting for the greeting card that we're shooting with Aloise, my girlfriend.
Last year we started working grading pictures with Aloise. So this year, 2015, we'll play a little bit with the numbers, kind of simple, extremely low-tech, using Polaroid. All the pictures using painting, we will paint ourselves. And then, yeah, we have to have a little brainstorming before to do this, to really complete the idea we have in mind.
Hey, so here is home in Gulo area. Yeah, we just moved in a week ago. Yeah, we're still kind of trying to organize a little bit. Living room, my little office. So I'm now waiting for Aloise to come back from work, and tonight we will shoot the picture for our 2015 greeting card. And then we started this little tradition with Aloise last year. We have been doing it for 5 years now, shooting a new picture every year to just to say hi. And it's kind of an invitation and a nice thing to start the year with.
I was thinking for the New Year card that like we want to do like a collection like of Polaroids that we have to all scan together. What about doing 16 of them? Because 16 of them is like a cube. Like 4, 4, and 16 is 2 times 8.
That's a great idea, but we have only
infinite, and we're in China. I'm done. You can speak.
It's great. Yeah, I think one thing we can add, and we'll see going through the different pictures, because we have to hold the camera this way. So maybe at some point I will hold it, you will hold it also. But then even holding it here, it's a bit too close. So we'll have to try in front of the mirror. I'll divide just like this. Okay, and then yeah, and then I'll do the lips at the end.
Thank you.
I was emotionally weak, and the installation was called "The Pilot Is Gone."
When you told me about M2B, I was very, very happy.
Crossover contacted me, and they wanted me to come to the show and talk about the project. At this point, M2B was exhibited at Art Beijing, the art fair locally here.
What's the name of that piece of work?
The project is called M2B, from Mux to Bex, and Mux is the mobile urban kinetic sculpture.
Okay.
So that's the mobile mode, and Bex is like the stationary mode, when the bike arrives on a platform, and I offer a button to on this.
I pushed that button.
Yeah.
Yes, and it started moving.
When the host at some point asked me, that was a funny one. She asked me, which is quite a legitimate question, because at some point you wonder how artists make money.
How does that make money?
That's an excellent question, and the answer is it doesn't.
This idea came of this very simple and mechanically very basic sculpture. It started when I lived in Shanghai, and I was in this area of the city where there were a lot of Sanlongshi. I started to look at them, to look at the way they were stacking things on the back of their bikes, the way like they were turning this very simple machine to very ingenious sculptures and businesses. And I thought I wanted to do something with this. Within 7 days, I was back in the plane and back to China. But this time, I chose Beijing. I kept on riding this sculpture around my area, like old Beijing, Dongsheng area, and all around the city. Movement brings fascination. Movement brings a sense of magic. This is also trying to, not trying anything, but it's giving a sense of other realities somehow, inside the same space. I spent already a lot of time and a lot of energy working on this project. I pretty much went from almost north to almost south. I just made my point. I think for the project and also for myself, I had to move on. People we're always like, oh man, you must have like such a great time, it's fun, you're traveling. Yes, there was definitely a fun part about it. But there was also definitely a quite tough part. I was carrying my cross. The only thing I had in life was this big thing that I was carrying around. I only had a suitcase. I had no money. I was kind of like emotionally a bit weak, and I at many moments I would have loved to be anywhere but where I was. I pushed me into it. Then I had no more choice. And when I arrived in Hong Kong, I had to stop this thing. I have to stop this project. I made this installation and performance in Hong Kong where I took off the uniform. I set it up on the bed. I took off the sunglasses I was wearing during the project, took off the hat and the sandals that I had, and I shaved myself like all the way. I had this big beard that grew from the beginning of the project in Beijing, and like hair and everything, and I just like it's like you have a ticket and you like clip the ticket, like this is done. And on the other side it was me just wearing my underpants, shaved, and the installation was called "The Pilot Is Gone." Éléonore!
Salut!
Salut, comment ça va? So there were three main inspirations, and one of these three was Nicolas Schoeffer. He died in 1994 at the age of 80. So there was no way I could talk to him and I could get some kind of validation.
I see you have a cameraman there.
Yes, they are our friends from CCTV.
Yes.
And they're making a little documentary about what I do here in China. His wife is still alive and living in Paris. And I thought I would just, it was very normal, and I had to send this presentation to Éléonore de Lavandera Schoeffer, his wife.
Well, when you told me about M2B, I was very, very happy.
She validated like the idea. She was extremely enthusiastic about the whole project, and she offered right away to be the godmother of this project.
So your idea was exactly the same. With your work, you wanted to go and bring something artistic and funny and something to think over, which was not ordinary life in the city.
She followed all the different steps and she made comments about all the different steps. She's been supporting me in many different ways since the beginning. Nicolas Schoeffer never went, but even if he wanted and he really admired China, he never get the chance to go to China.
But he always said that China was the place where everything has been coming from for the civilization, and he always said also that when China will awake, it will be fantastic. I'm very sorry that he doesn't see what happens today, you know, because I can see the development of China, and it makes me very happy, of course.
We come to meet with the students from this school, and we'll have a conversation about this project.
This kind of project, if you do it for money, you do it for the wrong reason. It's really important to have a kind of a mix with some money projects, like typically, and commission project, typically like the one we did with these people in Xidan. And then I also have some time for a charity, like Dandelion School. So I feel like time is balanced. I can spend more time for these things, and I was very happy to be able to spend the time with Dandelion School. And actually, we're still working with Dandelion School.
Here we come to meet with the students from this school, and I will show them one of the projects I've been working on for the last 3 years in China, and we'll have a conversation about this project.
They're curious about me, I'm curious about them. I can take my camera, I follow the students, and I see which kind of toys they play, how they play, how disciplined they are. There was just a good exchange of a curiosity.
Let's have a few close-ups over here. Alright, so maybe now we should go and do the test for video. In 2005, the Dandelion School moved in an old electrical switch factory.
我们学校是2005年的时候建立的，明确的目标就是一个公益性、非盈利的一个学校。
This is 2005, so all the kids moved in. At this time there was no 500 kids, but a little bit less, maybe a bit over than 300.
在这些学生里面，咱们是有相当一部分应该是学生是在享受这种1对1的这种捐助。
In 2008, they worked with an artist on a project that aimed to turn the school into like a colorful, playful, and welcoming place. I mean, the idea is to show them something new. I mean, in this case, it's this M2B project, but after the idea would be to bring some other artists for them to present other projects. So the only expectation I have is for the kids to discover new projects and to meet with new people and to have the chance to have some interaction with them and maybe to get inspired by the project and the people they will meet. So yes, this is the auditorium where we will give the presentation and we'll have the meeting with the students. So I'm very excited we managed to do that today, and I hope they will enjoy it. Hello! We're in the auditorium. The kids and the teachers and everybody from the school will come in about 2 hours from now. So we have to get the sound and image ready for the screening. When I heard about them, I just thought it's worthwhile supporting and giving all the help I can bring with what I have. And what I have now is a few images I can share and a few stories. So I am an artist, mostly do kinetic sculpture, photography. Yeah, mostly that's what I do. The Dandelion School is working with donations. They have more than 500 kids. They need money to make this school running. I just want to try to help them in their communication.
现在呢，他想给大家先看几个视频。
It's not like when you go to the museum, oh, you expect to be amazed, you expect to see great art, you expect, you want to be able to understand a little bit or to feel something, you have a lot of expectations. If there would be more street activities like this, we would expect more from street life. And the fact that we bring this in the street, on the roads, in the schools, is a great way to exchange. It's a less formal way. It's storytelling. Yeah, but then we won't call it a museum. We would call it a generator of questions. We would call it a dream machine. It took us 8 hours to do this very short film. We took the sculpture and each time we made 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. We went 50 meters. You can make it go that fast. But then the actual process of making this video took one whole night. Hey.
这样一个活动呢，就让他们又看到了另外一种角度、一个形状的世界。对于这些孩子来说，他可能就有看到了更多条的路。对他以后来说，他可能就有可以更多的选择，去走向不同的未来。
我想知道这部作品的精髓是什么。
That's a good question. They're middle school students, so they're from 12 to 17-year-old. What should I say about the essence of this project? Don't necessarily try to understand the meaning of it, and just enjoy the images you see. When you're in the street, there is only cars, trucks, shops, pedestrians, and buildings. I just needed to create this surprise that has no direct link with anything that we are usually use or we usually buy in the street and in our everyday life. As I was saying, like this kind of project, if you do it for money, you do it for the wrong reason. The project is now about telling the story of the performance. After, it's about documenting the telling and having some exchange about the whole course of this project, the performance, the documentation, and all the meeting around the course of the project. I think we'll never be really far from China. We've been here long enough. I'm still also working on some projects here with Beijing. I'll always have this link with Beijing and Shanghai and China. That's my China.